Warriors! Hey, welcome to the wake. Okay, I get it. I'm 4 days late. What? Guys, Friday night after the movie, right? Screamwalkers. Great movie. Be going into that in a little bit, right? Friday night after the movie, I was up all day and all night smoking meat for a Fall Fest, Oktoberfest thing that we got going on in my town here, right? And, all right, anybody who's a smoker out there, and right, if you're not at temperature and the food ain't getting done on time, right, you go into a panic. Well, I had two pork Boston butts, right? And I had 10 pounds, 10, 12, 12 pounds of German beef sausage on the smoker. And they've been on there since 9 o'clock in the morning. So it was like almost 12, 13 hours when I would have been doing the wake. And they still weren't getting up to temperature. So I was freaking out. Next thing I know, it's like midnight. And I wasn't going to bother you guys with the wake then. So, hey, let's talk about the wake. So, this week we had Screamwalkers. Screamwalkers, an independent movie by Sean Quincy King, right? Great flick, right? Very, it's sort of like a influenced by the Scream series, right? But I like the way it was sort of done in like an 80s kind of the way the video was, right? And the way that the relationships were between the friend group that was going on there, right? I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it reminded me of like an 80s, 80s horror movie, an 80s kind of like relationship kind of movie, But it was great. At the end, how'd you like the end? The mummy comes crawling out, right? And you think the mummy's going to go for the chick, right? But no, it goes for the chick in the cat scream mask, right? I loved it. I loved it a lot. Sean, you did a great job. Thank you very much for loaning us the movie. We don't get a lot of these movies. Pardon, we don't get a lot of the independent movies, as much as we like. And he was our third independent movie. Right? And Sean, again, was great. And then, if you notice, the short that we had, first we had the short, right, with the dentist, which still gives me the heebie-jeebies, right? Now, I'm not a big dentist guy, right? I do have, like, 90% of my teeth, right? But, I get, if you see it, you've seen it. I believe that it was called The Edge, was the actual name of that clip, right? That short movie about the dentist. You will get the heebie-jeebies for the rest of your life when you see the fella's face at the end. Spoilers, but it was on Friday, so you should have watched it, all right? Then we had the movie, and the other short we had was a short that Sean and his group did, and I thought it was pretty good. The girl was kind of cute, you know what I mean? But then it all gets befuddled at the end, and everything goes crazy. So I think it was a very successful week, and like I said, I'm appreciating all of our independent movie people that are lending us their movies, right? And it makes our show different than a lot of the other horror hosts, right? And I'm getting, and John, or the doc and the boss, we're getting a whole new relationship with these guys, right? And it's so much fun. I mean, just talking to them. I was at Delco Horror Havens at Movie Fest a couple weeks ago, and a lot of those guys, independent guys, right, were there, and they were fantastic. Yo, Doc, how you doing? Right? The wake, right, 4 days later. It's like an Irish wake. It goes on forever, all right? But Like I said, I really appreciate Sean for lending us the movie. Now, next week, we got Porch Pirate. Now, Porch Pirate, another independent movie. It's about an hour 5, right? And it's a fantastic movie. It's different than the other independent movies because this actually has a big movie feel or a Netflix type of feel to it, right? Now, it's only, like I said, it's only an hour 5, right? The movie could have been 2-3 hours, right? The way the plot worked, the dynamic that goes back and forth between the characters in the movie, right? You guys will really, really enjoy it. And then it's done by a guy. His name's Dorian Vasquez, right? And if I messed your name up, do shoot me a nastygram, right? Right? Because I want to get your name right so people know to go out and look for you. You know what I'm saying? But Porch Pirate's great. And my favorite character is the pawn shop guy. His name's Mike, and he played Mike. And when you see the interview that we did, because he was another Delco Horror, I'm telling you, Delco Horror Haven. If you guys aren't following them on Facebook and Instagram, you're making a mistake. If you're from Southeast Pennsylvania, Southern Jersey, Northern Delaware, right, you will love to come see some of the events they have, right? And you'll have a blast. So, yeah, sauce, not gravy. It's gravy, Doc. It's tomato. People. Right. So, like I said, we're going to have a couple of his shorts on too, right? And I'm telling you, you guys will enjoy it. The people in the movie are all part of the Philadelphia comedy scene, right? Which is actually kind of cool. And, they're really, really good people. When I said when I do the interview with them afterwards, you will... Oh, my God. Pardon me, it's late. I had a long weekend. But you will enjoy the shorts that come up, right? Now, we have 2 more movies this month, right? Both silent films. Both films which are way above Cemetery Cinema's pay grade, all right? Classic movies. One's Nosferatu from 1922. It's an amazing movie, right? Again, I'm really into cinematography. I wish I had gone to school for film study instead of political science, which is pretty much pre-unemployment, right? And yet I paid my own student loans back, not to get political, but, God, I lost my train of thought. Choo-choo. Oh, but Nosferatu, you will love that movie. Please, please watch it. And we also have our resident professor. He comes on and he does a little talk on vampires and the history of vampires, which is really great. Thanks, Dr. Fallows from St. John Neumann University down in Aston, Pennsylvania. If you know where that's at, great. Because, oh my God, because it's hard to find on a map. All right. So then after that, we have The Man Who Laughed. The Man Who Laughed. Oh my God. That Nosferatu is really, really good. The Man Who Laughed is just a step above that. It's this again. Like I said, I'm really into cinematography. Being a silent film, they had to do a whole lot of speaking through the picture and not actually, through, their voices, and also having the, how can I put it? Like, well, the flashcards come up, the language, the conversation cards come up, right? And the music in it, the music was done in The Man Who Laughed with a track that was on an old-fashioned type of album and an experimental thing for back then where they put the music in with the film, right? So they didn't have talkies yet because they couldn't do that at the same time, but they infused the music in with the film. And the music the music in silent movies that are really good make the movie. It actually helps you emote. You can actually feel what's going on by listening to the music. Yeah, Led Zeppelin. There you go. I'm telling you, you will enjoy both of those movies. I can't wait for them to come on. It's actually a treat for you guys to see that, considering the Blood Farmers, the Driller Killer, the nonsense we've had on before. But hey, right? We're climbing the ladder, so you guys get to be able to see all the really, really good stuff. That's right, Doc. We're cranking it up. Now, November. So I've been doing November's movies a couple nights last week, right? And today, right? And today I got to see Paralyzed with Fear, an independent movie, right? That's done the way it's filmed. It looks like a soap opera, right? So it's like that live film videotape kind of thing, right? Oh my God, what a creepy movie. The acting's meh, right? Well, everybody in the movies did a pretty good actor, except for the one girl who's a daughter. And you guys, when you watch it, right, you'll sort of like feel the same way about her. And it's not just her acting, because you'll see the movie, right? And you'll like it. But Paralyzed with Fear, right, really good, great flick. And then we have another independent movie called Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Ooh, right? I haven't had a chance to see that yet, but the write-ups on that are really, really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But then the rest of them, oh my God. We got Chopping Mall, right? An American classic. Oh my God. Really, really great movie. Great B movie from the 80s, right? Then we're following that up with Reanimator, right? With Jeffrey Combs. And if you watch Star Trek, he is like 10 different important parts, right? In Star Trek, right? He's in Deep Space Nine. He's a Valoran, right? He's an Andorian in Enterprise, and then in Voyager and the Next Generation, he does probably like another 9. I think he has 11 different parts that he does. He's one of those people that has a face that can morph into a ton of other things, right? No, he's not Mork from Mork. Blah. But in Reanimator, that was the very first movie that I saw him in, right? And I have a really good story about that movie. We'll talk about that when we do our film. And actually, the Doc and I are filming this upcoming Thursday, right? So we're going to have a ton of good jokes and everything going along with that. I'm telling you, and Reanimator, right? And then we have Chud, Carnivorous Human Underground Dwellers, right? Or Humanoid, right? Another great 80s flick movie. I remember seeing that at a drive-in we had in our neighborhood called the Mac Day Drive-In, right? And it was the kind of drive-in that you had to have like the little theater, like the little speaker box in your window, right? And we would sneak in on our bikes, right? Because it came out, I was maybe 19, 20, right? Right? I had a car, right? I would still ride my bike a lot for exercise. And we would go to the Mac Day drive-in and on our bikes and watch it, right? And it was, I just remember, like, literally, the bike I had was a 10-speed with the curled handlebars, right? Sitting there, and I had if you remember the old style rattan chairs, right? Oh my God, right? I would have that on the front of my bike, pedal myself up with all my buddies, right, to the theater. And the reason why we take our bikes in, if you took a car in, it was like $5. But if you rode your bike, it was like $2, right? And then we would meet a friend of ours there, right, who would drive his van, right? and we'd all park next to his van, right? Pop the back doors open, right? Sit there, have a couple pops, and watch the movie. Well, we saw Chud, and I remember watching the movie and I laughed from beginning to end. It's one of those ridiculously funny, like 80s horror movies, and you guys will love it. I can't wait. And then we wrap the entire month up, right, with our Shorty Film Fest, right? We have so many videos for this film fest that we had to move it, to 3 hours. Now, as of today, I have confirmation from 12 different people for the film fest. We have other people that said they were going to put the movies in, right? It's probably like another 9 or 10, right? But I wrote them today. I wrote them last week and today just to get from them that they are definitely going to do it. And then they could send us their best version of the movie. Because, if you noticed last week when we had Screenwalkers, right? They had on their ghost print, their ghost thing on the screen saying where, who produced it and all that, right? Right? I thought it was kind of cool, so everybody knows who did the movie, and you guys go out to their website and all that and see it's constantly looking at you. But we try to get the highest quality version of the movie, whether, no one's going to have 4K yet for so a lot of these independent movies, but they will have HD and all that, and so we're waiting for them to send us the really good links, So, I can't wait. And some of the shorties, right? Like there's one called Deathbrella. Oh my God, what a hoot! You guys will love that, right? It's 3 minutes long, right? But it's sort of like in the reign of like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or Poultrygeist, which and Rubber, right? Which are some of my favorite horror movies because they're funny. They're really, really funny. Okay. And, and then some serious horror ones, right? One's called Wolf. And you will not, you're wearing shorts. All right. Hope you have pants over them. All right. But, what I'm hoping is, well, first of all, Wolf, go back again, right? The way it begins and the way it ends, right? Surprise ending. And you will there's no one out there that will dislike Wolf. I'll tell you that right off the bat, right? Great movie, right? And I'm waiting to get confirmation back from them. But when I interviewed them, they said they would give it to us. Another one called Lizzie, right? Where it's sort of like a Lizzie Borden movie theme, right? And this little girl, she is going to be a star someday. She was so good. And when you see the interview I did with her and her friend who was the director, right? And she on point, a lot more mature than her age. I think she was like 10. Very mature, right? And then another one, right? We have, and the name escapes me right now, but the young lady that's in it could be, right, like Lizzie, oh my God, Elizabeth, Scarlet Witch, right? And she's first of all, she's a doll to talk to, right? She's really, really nice. But she can act. I'm telling you, she can act. She was so good. And, right, like I said, she could be a twin for Elizabeth, whatever, from the girl who plays Scarlet Witch, right? And you guys will enjoy it. Amongst all the other shorties that we got going, right? And the Doc and I, we have some prizes for you when we do that, right? Again, it's going to be 3 hours, right? And, the bits that we're gonna do, right? You guys will love it, Perfect thing to watch on Black Friday when you get home, right? And the thing is, it's funny. Like you say, people get home from Black Friday. Most people just sit there and key them ways through Amazon, right? So when your fingers are tired from doing all your Christmas shopping on Amazon and Walmart.com and all that, right? Yeah, Doc, it's 3 hours. You know, the boss told us we had to do it. What are we going to do? Right? And you're all tired, right? You get plop yourself down on the couch, right? And watch us. And take 3 hours of your life that you wish you had back. And you'll enjoy it. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's something that when we first started getting, like a lot of independent people, right? I pitched it out to Doc first, then to as station manager the boss John Rios, and they were all in favor of it, right? And then my next part was gathering it all together, you know. Yeah, where's Rachel? So you'll enjoy that, and then and the Doc's going back and forth with some goofy things on there, right? We did the man. No, we did, the man who laughed, right? And we sort of had a goof up at the end. So the Doc is always on the ball, coming up with like a really quick fix for it at the end, and it's hysterical. So the line that he has in here in the text, "Where's Rachel?" You'll get it when you see the man who laughed. I was laughing my ass off when he sent me the redone edit, and you'll love it. Oh my God, you will love it. You know, and poor Mary Tyler, who sent the question in, she's gonna laugh her ass off. It was really, really funny. So, all right. Just to let you guys know, right? Like I said, it's 10 o'clock here in the East Coast, right? Again, I apologize for not getting this out promptly on time, like I usually do, you know, but the last 2 weeks have been busy as hell. Now, this weekend and the following weekend, right? I'm actually at something that our Scout Council, Viking Scout Council, calls the Spookery, right? And it's a weekend that we take the Cubs, which are elementary school age kids, right? Boys and girls, because we have both. Right now, scouting is for both boys and girls, right? And it's a Spookery, and basically it's a Halloween themed camping trip, and you will love it. It is so much fun, right? And I'm going to try to get some clips there. When you're taking pictures with kids, you have to get permission slips from parents and all that, right? But you'll love it. And one of the best things is it's at a camp called Camp Ware, right? Named after General John Ware from the Civil War or Revolutionary War, right? But we have somebody called the Werewolf, right? And he goes around in a mask, running around screaming at people, scaring them. Really? But the kids don't know it, right? Not that they can tell, me being the chubby guy just wearing a werewolf mask. But it's a lot of fun, right? I'm hoping to get a lot of video there for, like the doctor said, for filler, right? And it'll be, if I can get done what I want to get done, you guys will enjoy it immensely, you know? But, and then, some of the things that are coming up that, we're going to be doing, the Doc is going to a place called Bloodfest, Doc? It's up in the Allentown area. If you guys don't know that, it's sort of like where the Poconos are, right? And it's another horror convention, right? The Doc and I do Blobfest. He does Monster Fest, and he does this other one, Bloodfest. He'll be getting a lot of interviews and talking to people, a lot of stuff that we have for filler. Then I have a lot of things that I did recently with Ducko Harhaven and interviewing people for the shorts, and then interviewing some people at another event that we had. You guys will get a kick out of that, you know. So I'm really looking forward to like November and then December. And I can't wait for December. Oh my God. We have Santa Claus versus the Martians, right? P is Adora. What a bad, campy movie. And it's a movie that I watch every year. Originally, it was on in Philadelphia with Dr. Shock, right? You hear me and Dr. Dredd talk about him all the time. He is our movie host from the 70s, the guy that we grew up with. What a great, and he was the kind of host that geared his show toward kids. He actually had his daughter Darlene on there, and her nickname was Bubbles. And they called her Bubbles because at the time there was a cola called Bubbles in the Philadelphia area, right? And they were the sponsor, so he called his daughter Bubbles, right, for the sponsorship, and he would have her on the show. She would actually always like knock on the coffin and open it up when he came out, because that Dr. Shock was sort of a vampire-ish kind of guy, But he was great back in the day, He was our guy. And, so I saw it on there probably when I was like 8 or 9, right? And it became a movie that I wanted to watch every year just because it's so bad. They get a guy on, the comic relief on there, right, is supposed to be like a Mickey Rooney kind of like a ripoff, but he's actually really funny, And then there's a guy in there, he's one of the interviewers, he's like a reporter, and I believe he was Dr. Bombay on Bewitched, if you remember the TV show Bewitched. And if you do, you're old like me, right? So I hope you enjoy that when we have it on. And I know, and the doc, we're going to do a ton of funny bits for that. I actually can't wait, right, till that comes on, all right? I don't have the other films up on here right now for December, but going into the new year, we have Alligator, right? Another great, bad, horrible, right, movie. And I believe that's the one that Alligator people. So back in like the 60s and 70s, right, you could go buy a caiman, right, which is a baby alligator, probably like that big when you buy it, right? And they only get to be like maybe like 2.5, 3 feet. Like I'm going, you can't say, about 2.5, maybe 2 to 2.5 feet long, right? And they were pets that people would buy back in the day. Now, caimans, right, in the wild grow out to be 6, 8 feet, like regular alligators, right? But they would sell these, and the idea was back in the day, they would only grow as big as the tank. Well, people would get them, right, and then, they would flush them down the toilet, right? That was the old, myth. They'd flush it down the toilet, right? And then the alligators were living in the sewers in New York, right? And that actually was happening. There were alligators that were pets at one time. They were living in the sewers in New York. And they were eating like crazy. You know why? Because they get to eat all the rats in the sewer, right? So that's a great movie, right? And it's been forever since I've seen that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Again, another 80s horror. I'm telling you, for Gothic horror, you would have like the 40s and 50s, right? Your Frankensteins, your Draculas, your werewolves, your mummies, right? And then you would have your 60s and 70s, and it was more like the hip horror movies, right? Hence, like Dracula 72, Blackula, right? Those kind of, right? And it was kind of like, more the jazzed up music and all that, right? Then you go from the 70s into the 80s, right? And you would have a lot of really gory horror movies, but a lot more campy horror movies. And that my favorite era is the 80s for horror movies. That's why, like, you have Chopping Mall, you have Chud, right? You have Reanimator, right? You will have a blast, you would have had a blast growing up in that era for horror movies, right? Now, big announcement. In the town that I live in, Claude Rains, the Invisible Man, right, was seen a lot. No, get it, seen a lot. But he actually owned a farm here in West Bradford. So in Pennsylvania, you can get these blue historic markers put up, right, for people of, of note and events that happened in your area, right? So I just got done talking with the township manager and the person that runs the historic board in my town, and we're going to do this. And that'll be something that my goal is to get the sign approved and up so we can unveil it Halloween 2025. So if Cemetery Cinema is still on, the boss still keeps us around, the doc and I will be putting this sign up, right, and having a huge event. We're going to invite all, and Doc's learning about this right now, we're going to invite all the horror hosts from the Philadelphia area, right? I'm going to invite Sven Gulli to come. He won't come, but maybe he'll send like a little video message for us, right? And then we'll have and how it works when you get these signs put up, all the politicians all come out because they all want to get reelected, right? And we're going to do it, my goal is to do it around Halloween, be right for the election next year. And next year's elections are, if you guys follow politics, next year's elections are always the local elections. So, people that are running in your town. And I'll be running again. I'm the tax collector in my town, right? I'm the bad guy who wears the bad hat. So you better pay your damn taxes, right? But that's what we have next year. We have all the local elections. So we know we'll get a lot of political backing, because they want to look good, right? And then we'll make it kind of funny and, cool when we do the historic marker stuff, right? And then, bang, the next week will be election week. So I'm planning, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I'm thinking. So, all right? So, again, that was the world premiere. That's my announcement, right? It'll happen, again, like I said, next year, right? But I'm on it. Like I said, I'll be going to one of their meetings in, the second week of November, I believe it is. Right? So, all right. So, guys, I've yapped at you for like half an hour, right? Threw some really cool stuff out there. Screamwalkers, right? If you get a chance, buy their Blu-ray. He has a whole lot of extra things on it. Sean King, thank you again. I can't thank you enough for lending us the movie, right? And then Dorian, we got Porch Pirate coming up. I can't thank you enough, right? And I love the interview we did that night, and we're going to put that in there, right? And then your 2 extra shorties that you gave us, all right? So, guys, take care. Thank you very much. Remember, Levante, we get the guys independent movies. They're helping us. We're helping them. We lift each other up. There you go. So, Mad Darbarian, I am out from Cemetery Cinema. See you Friday at 8 o'clock. Aloha. All right, now. All right. Oh, God. And my computer's in the shop, so I'm doing it off my phone. And I still need my IT director, i.e. my son. All right, here. All right, I'm out. Mad Darbarian out.